I also will say, for those that are not as familiar with meditation, it may seem like when you're sitting there and time is going by, the mind may be racing, and you may feel like, wow, why am I even spending time like this? Like, I'm bored. I need to go and do something. I need to go to the store. I need to go. And if that starts happening, remember, you have a proficient mastery over continuously talking to yourself. So it would only be right that you would have or gain a sufficient mastery over making sure that your consciousness remains quiet. Because what really allows you to go into what you call the dream world, which is the astral plane, which many things can be done on, is that you've actually accomplished turning off your mind. Now, you call it sleep. But once you let go of a certain gear that is what you're thinking with right now, and you let go long enough, another one kicks in. They call this the tonal or the novel. This is the two different bodies, the watcher of the day, which is your sun, and the watcher of your night, which you can say is your moon per se. And your body switches these like it switches guard, just like the earth switches guard. Now the moon's out, then the sun's out. Your body switches guard. And for the seer, they're capable of switching that inside of their consciousness at whim. And that is through the meditation. We can work with guided meditations first because it's great. Meditation can be used for different things. Sometimes it may be we need to use a different word. We're calling it all meditation when the ancients have different words for different things that you're doing. So we will have some guided meditations to actually assist others in clearing energy. But this word meditation, as it translates in English, is actually a reference to the middle, the mediator. And there's no talking inside of the middle chamber. There's no chatter. It's almost like when the plaintiff and the defendant have an opportunity to state whatever it is that they want to state. Now the judge, who is sitting in the center, must, deliberate. And they generally go into their chambers. This is the depth of your own consciousness. And then they sit silently and they entreat wisdom. Basically, let me go into my consciousness. Let me see everything that I saw, and then let me see nothing. And then the answer will come to me. There's a familiarity that has to be there with that. Even though you think nothing is going on, something very powerful is going on. And then when it's ready to respond back or ripple back into this realm, you will see it. And this is why it's so important to do the meditations, because you're pushing energy in a different direction. Right now, when you're thinking, you're actually talking. So energy is going in a certain direction. So I can be talking to you verbally, or I can be thinking at you. Either way, I'm sending energy in a certain direction. So what meditation gets you familiar with is how to pull the energy into another direction. This is the key to mastering yourself, to mating yourself with your other side of self. All of those different variants, the twin flames, all of that is all just a reference to something going on actually inside of you. It will manifest things on the outside of you that are akin to what's going on inside. And this is why you don't have to work on the reality externally all the time in order to change it. You generally need to do that if you're trying to change it for others. So many are here on missions trying to change things for others. So there's a lot of external stuff that you have to do. But the internal mission, because this is a twofold mission, the internal mission is first to be able to, all power comes from inside of you, not outside of you. And that what you unlock inside of you reflects on the outside of you. That's exactly how the system works. So if we're doing things on the outside only, expecting something to happen in the inside, this is improper. It will lead to certain results, but it won't be necessarily the results that you're looking for when you're talking about advanced states of consciousness. So now what we do is we center ourselves into the space of ourselves, and we challenge ourselves to not say anything to self and to just let self be. This could take days. It could take weeks. You may already know how to do it. Also, every master meditator has to practice this. This is why it's called balance. Balance is not something, if you notice, like balance is on the tip even of a triangle, right? It's something that constantly must be achieved. You will not find people saying, oh, I achieved balance and it's over for me. No, balance is something you always have to work on. And so you have these tools, you have these techniques, and these techniques, they make you the most present. If you're in there with the Dogen masters, the lamas or whatever, and they got you in the deep sanctum and it's now one-on-one for you, they're going to have you sit there and meditate. They're going to teach you a pose that has nothing to do with contorting your bodies and aesthetics, but simply being comfortable and alert. Comfortable, meaning relaxed, but alert. And as the meditation begins, the first leg up the ladder, this is the black square on the bottom of the ziggurat. Before you can even traverse the square, you must learn how to sit there with patience, which is time, to stay grounded, meaning that you're to remain grounded from your sphincter in that area into the ground, or if you're standing up from the roots of your feet into the ground, you're to remain grounded. And now the test begins of how long you can stay grounded without your consciousness interrupting you with these ideas of being tired, with these ideas of being bored, etc. Because once you make that connection and you get the taste, this means that you feel the body begin to go into activation, which it'll start rocking back and forth a little bit. You'll feel like that there's a field that is really around you, because there is, and now you've stepped it up into another gear. Once you start feeling that, it becomes confirmation for you that this is working. I'm doing something. This is a gateway to something that I don't know about. And then it continues from there, the practice, and then the practice takes you into a greater stage of awareness of self.